Okay, so what we build with Celeste is like we build a green operation for Filecoin ecosystem, which is a European data centers, and we want to push that to the ecosystem. Basically, we want to build the best Filecoin Green certified hosting solution for the ecosystem. Our data centers are ecological. We provide local Filecoin expertise. We are Filecoin Green Gold certified, and the offer and is really ultra competitive in terms of pricing. So who we are? So Twinquasar, we provide to Filecoin Storage Providers and clients services since the launch of mainnet. So we provide this green hosting, this new green hosting colocation. We provide managed services, consultancy on Filecoin. We help clients to onboard data, and we are Filecoin Plus model. We also do software development. One development that I'm also doing, which is tied to the green hosting offer that I will present today. And we also develop CID Gravity and Lotus Orchestra. Celeste, so our partner on this, it's a large French data center and a telecommunication company. They have 600 employees. They do more than 120 million turnover. We have 5 data centers in France and Switzerland. Patents on these ecological data centers that I will explain. We are also a telecommunication carrier, so we have 12,000 kilometers of optic fiber that we own, and more than 1,500 peering with other carriers. So the data centers we have, so the first 2 data centers that we launched on the 5 are 2 French data centers. One is located in Paris, and the other one is 600 kilometers from there in south of France in Albi. We have, so the design of these 2 data centers is like ecological from the ground, which means like we really think everything when we develop these data centers to be ecological. We have a PUE of 1.3 on these data centers, which is part of the lowest on the market. That helps us to reduce our energy consumption by 35%. What you see on the left side is what we build. So it's vertical design, which means like we also reduce the footprint of the data center, which also reduce the cost when you are in high density locations like Paris. We also produce our energy locally through our own solar panel farm. So today we have like 500 square meters of data centers, and that's the first batch. You have to know that all this energy is dedicated to the Filecoin ecosystem, which means that 100% of the energy which is consumed by the Filecoin equipment will come from these solar panels, and I mean will be compensated by the solar panel production, because at night we don't have solar panel production. But for peak and nighttime, it's 100% renewable energy, which means hydraulic or nuclear. To reduce even more our environmental footprint, we have 100% of the cabling, which is optic fiber, so we don't use copper anymore. We do, of course, provide copper in the racks if you need like converter between like optic fiber and copper. We use flywheel inverters, so we don't have any battery in the building, and we also use the energy, the heat produced for the offices. A few description of what we can provide. So we can provide up to 25 kVA per racks. We have like 1/3 of racks up to 48 U. Two different size of racks. In terms of connectivity, you can bring your own carriers or leverage the Celeste backbone. And we also provide local Filecoin expertise, which is really up to you to use. So we can go from just local remote ends to change the hardware or even do managed services for you. Yep. Yes, what else? So everyone who will you will rely on locally have Filecoin expertise. So which means that we understand what's the business of Filecoin, we understand the risk, we understand the window posting, all that stuff, which means like when we do changes, you can be safe that this will be done like and in line with what's happened to any Filecoin storage providers. We have, so we work with the Filecoin Foundation on that project to build that offer and with PL. And anyone who brings his equipment, his storage provider to these facilities will benefit automatically of the gold Filecoin Green certification, which potentially may unlock in the close future green financing, reputation score in their system, quicker data cap allocation, and access to green deals. Yeah. So we develop on top of that, we develop with Filecoin Green a metrology and reporting tooling that is open source that you can deploy to your servers. And what it's doing is like it's producing in real time the consumption of any sectors that you have on the miner. This is calculated. It's not like an average per day. It's really like based on how much the energy produced for that sector. Sorry. So yeah. So what we take into account, we take the solar panel production, we take the rack consumption, the service consumption, and seeding and storage activity, which give us this ability to calculate that consumption per sector. In terms of pricing, so because we produce our own energy and because we have this vertical design, we can reduce the cost. And we can provide something which is really, really competitive to what we usually see on the market, even for standard hosting. So the price we provide is committed on 3 years. And we are protected against the energy crisis. The starting price, if I don't want to say something wrong, we start at for the cheapest entry price is 258 for a third of a rack, and the standard racks, which is 42U, we start at 770 euros. Just about the pricing. How we position right now, because it's really depending on the region. So sometimes it doesn't really make sense to you. But like if you look at what is the standard price today on the market for the same type of offer, so what we provide at roughly 800, let's say below 800, the standard price is between 1,500 to 2,500 if you go to Equinix as an example. So we are really, really cheap. And this is only provided for the Filecoin ecosystem, which means like the standard price of Celeste is twice the price we propose today for Filecoin. So it's really like we really push hard just to get this price and to bring this solar and energy to these data centers and to reach that price.
Pretty cool.
But so does the hosting include storage or the actual hardware?
No, this is co-location. So this is just empty racks with power.
So we bring our hardware.
With power, sorry, we bring power at that price, and we also bring 1 gig internet connection. So compared to what you explained, Porter, about how much they pay in China and in Asia, you see that we have a huge benefits to. They have a huge benefits to extend to Europe and to serve their clients from there.